It all started with three men: Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Mike McCulloch. Wozniak was a self-educated engineer, and he was very talented. Their partnership began when Wozniak began constructing boxes which enabled one to make long-distance phone calls. He sold several hundred models. Jobs managed to convince Wozniak in assembling a computer machine and selling it. Together in the garage of Steve Jobs' home, they founded a new company which was named Apple. Their goal was to create inexpensive and simple-to-use computer. In April, they introduced their first system, known as Apple I. The bishop said they would be interested in Apple I, but only if it came fully assembled. The owner said he would order 50 of the machines. He would pay them $500 each on delivery. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak and their small crew spent all day and all night building and testing the computers. They delivered it to the bike shop owner Paul Terrell on time to pay his suppliers. Steve Jobs had now found a way to finance his company without giving away one share of stock or ownership. In the late 1970s, they designed and marketed the Apple II. 1 year later, the Apple Macintosh was born, and with it, the Apple company began to grow. The company's main products include iPhone, iPad, Mac, iPod, iTunes, Mac App Store, iCloud, operating system software, application software, and other application software. The company also offers its own software products, including iOS, the company's mobile operating system, OS, the company's Mac operating system and server and application software. Apple has just launched two new iPhones, the iPhone 5C and the iPhone 5S. The iPhone 5S has a chip with 64-bit architecture, a fingerprint identity sensor, a better faster camera, and an operating system built specifically for 64-bit. These features in a smartphone would make it ahead of its time. Teenagers are considered one of Apple's big target markets. Teenagers like to listen to a lot of music and go on Facebook, Twitter, easy and quickly, so the iPod and iPhone is very popular to this target market. College and university students are also one of Apple's big target groups. These students use Apple products such as iPads, MacBooks, iPhones, and so on, to quickly take notes. Also, Apple's products are very light, which makes carrying the products to and from school much easier. Business people are very interested in Apple's products. All Apple's products like iPhones, iPads, MacBooks, and so on have a business quality that is very useful. These products are used to finish work and communicate with clients easily. Apple products are also useful to young children and kids. The reason why is that iPods and iPads are easy to use because of their touchscreen quality, which is good for children. Parents can download learning game apps on the iPad to teach young children and kids. iPhones are useful to adults for their everyday needs, such as phone calls, map directions, internet connection, documents, and cameras. Apple has many competitors in the business world, and it is a big topic. Many other phone and computer companies have copied Apple's design. When it comes to smartphones, one of their biggest competitors is Samsung, who produce the popular Samsung Galaxy line of smartphones. When it comes to the laptops and PCs/MacBooks, Apple is competing with Microsoft, Acer, HP, and many others. Apple has managed to make a great success. They have launched many different products and have over the years changed their design. The design is now really light and minimalistic. I think that Apple needs to take a step out of the box. They need to make something new. They renew their old products all the time, but what we need is something entirely different, something they haven't made before. I have always wondered, why do they not make an Apple TV? Their TV could be thin, minimalist, and with their well-known aluminium look, or they could make a printer that is also related to their computers. There are many options for Apple. The simple design is what they are very well known about. It is what we customers love about Apple. Apple is very easy to use. Anyone can figure it out no matter how old or how young you are. Therefore, they are also a very wide target group. They have many products and they have made more of the same. For example, they have not only one computer, they are constantly being updated, so they are newer and smarter. Apple is also really innovative. They think out of the box so they can make their products stand out from the others. Apple also have their own operating system. It could be a strength because they decide when they want to renew their products to be better. The high-end price is a weakness because you have to have a lot of money to buy their products. That is one of the things that makes the target market smaller. They must have a great variety of kinds of products such as TV or printer. They need to make their price lower so they can have a chance to get into the Chinese market, which is huge and therefore really hard to get into. It can be a threat to that several people have easy access to Android if you have a Samsung mobile or a smartphone from another brand. There are many external people who develop applications for Android. Android is much larger than Apple's own operating system.